What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Juicy Jet podcast. I'm your host, Kevin Rooney, and we got a special Saturday episode because the Super Bowl is tomorrow. Tomorrow, 6 p.m., the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Philadelphia Eagles. So we're going to talk about some of my favorite lines, maybe some of my favorite bets coming up for the Super Bowl tomorrow. But before we get into that, we do have a very, very little bit of Jets news that I do want to talk about because it's something that I've been waiting for a little bit, and we finally got it the other day. So welcome back. Let's get right into it. The first thing I want to do is talk a little bit about the new Jets news that we heard just recently. This came out 2 days ago, but this whole offseason we've been saying who is going to be the seasoned veteran person in the room that can help this new coaching staff, this new GM, work their way around running an entire organization. And who can talk to Woody Johnson and say, hey, Woody, winning organizations have XYZ things that you don't have, and you're wasting too much on these other things. And luckily, the Jets got that. Just the other day, Rick Spielman was named an advisor, I guess a senior advisor, for the New York Jets. Now, for those of you that don't know who Rick Spielman is, he's been in the league for a long time. He was the general manager for the Minnesota Vikings for 10 years, actually. Led the Vikings to 4 division championships, 6 playoff appearances. He drafted folks like Adrian Peterson, Justin Jefferson, Percy Harvin, some of the best players that have played for the Minnesota Vikings. So it's a really exciting person to bring along. But the weird part about this is Rick Spielman was actually a part of the 33rd team with Mike Tannenbaum, who did the interviews for both Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji. So it's interesting that first of all, great job by Rick Spielman. You say, hey, let me come and advise on your hiring process. Oh, by the way, let me take a job with you as well for the regular season. So the weird part about this too is Spielman's going to be working remotely. I'm assuming he'll be back and forth between Jersey and wherever he lives to help both Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji. But you could tell he's already making a little bit of an impact. Whether that's his decision or Darren Muji's decision, either way, they're working together to agree upon it, which is ridding this team of all the people that have put us in this terrible position where we haven't been to the playoffs in 14 years. So I'm already on board with this. I'm really excited that we have like an actual adult in the room. He can come in and say, hey, we don't have a built out analytics department. Let me help build that out. He can come in and say, we don't have enough people in pro personnel or in our college scouting departments. Here's what we've done at places like the Vikings. He's also worked at places like the Bears, for example. His brother is actually one of the people that is part of the turnaround with the Detroit Lions. He's been kind of like the president there of the Lions. His brother is Chris Spielman, who used to play linebacker in the NFL. He was the one who was, hey, the buffer between the ownership, the Fords, and the new head coach and GM there, which ended up being Brad Holmes and, of course, Dan Campbell, which, those are great hires, obviously, and has turned the entire org around. So I'm hoping Rick Spielman can do the same thing for us here with the New York Jets. And I think he's going to be a great help to both Darren Muji and Aaron Glenn. So I'm extremely excited. This is like the one thing that I was waiting for in terms of getting some actual experience in the room, someone who's done the job before, who we really don't have a lot of that right now. So great sign. Very excited for that. I feel like there's going to be a couple ancillary moves that are coming over the next couple of weeks, but majority of it is done at this point, and now it's on to the NFL draft, the combine, free agency, all that stuff that's coming up over the next few weeks. So with that, let's transition from the Jets to a event that has not had the Jets be a part of it for 56 years, since January 12th, 1969, which is the Super Bowl. So we got the Super Bowl. We've got a rematch of a few years back, the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Philadelphia Eagles. This is going to be an interesting one. I don't know if many folks in America wanted this Super Bowl in terms of two teams we've seen before. The Chiefs have been there a bunch of times. For me, I did not want the Bills, so I'm happy the Chiefs are there over the Bills, but I do not want the Chiefs to win this game. I'm definitely rooting for the Philadelphia Eagles because I'm tired of the Chiefs. I like when new teams win. I don't need to see Patrick Mahomes just constantly dominate this league. So it doesn't give me any hope for for a future for the Jets. So I am all in on the Eagles with my heart. That does not mean I think they're going to win. So right now, if you look at some of the betting websites out there, it looks like the Chiefs are favored by 1.5 points. I'm going to take the Chiefs with the spread. Everything about the Eagles says that they are more talented. They are the team that should win this game. But that combination of Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, Steve Spagnuolo, they've done it a million times before. We've seen it. Why would I bet against them when I know that they can do it? Now, of course, a three-peat is an impossible task. No one's ever done it before, but they've made it this far. So why would I turn away from the Chiefs right now? So I'm actually betting on the Chiefs to win, even though they are not the better team. I think the Eagles are the better roster, better team. Some other things that I'm looking for, I actually have no idea how this game is going to go. I would not be surprised if the score is 9-6. I wouldn't be surprised if the score is 45-3. I wouldn't be surprised if the score is 34-31. Now, I'm hoping it's going to be a great game. I'm leaning more towards the Chiefs winning this game 27-24, where we get a good one, a nice close Super Bowl. But this one could go anyway because these defenses are both really good. These offenses have really boom or bust potential. So we'll see how the game actually plays out. But I'm going for 27-24 Kansas City Chiefs. I have a couple bets I do like, though. If you have not been riding the Saquon Barkley longest rush bet this entire postseason, then you have been missing out on basically free money. So right now his over-under is 24.5. I mean, pretty much every single game, Saquon Barkley's gone over 50. So in one rush. So I'm going to put some money on that for sure. I think some other places that I'm looking. Devonta Smith had a great game against the Chiefs in the last Super Bowl. I know it's a different team, but he had 100 yards. So I'm going to go with Devonta Smith over 60 yards receiving. One other one I really like for the Eagles is Dallas Goedert as well. I think he's at 4.5 receptions. I know Hurts likes feeding the tight ends, so I'm going to go Dallas Goedert over 4.5 receptions. I think Xavier Worthy is an anytime touchdown potential. I really like Xavier Worthy there. So those are probably the main bets that I'm looking for. And then the rest you can have fun with prop bets. Obviously, this is the best part of the Super Bowl is being able to pick first commercial, heads or tails, the color of the Gatorade, and all those sorts of things. So it should be a really fun Super Bowl. I'm hoping once again that the Eagles pull it out. I know I got a couple buddies down in New Orleans for the actual game, so I'm hoping that they come out on top. But we'll see how it goes. But the sad part is this is it. This is the end of the season. The last football game we're going to get until the preseason starts up again in August. So although the Jets are never in it, it's still bittersweet because, we're transitioning out of football. Even though we got the Combine coming up, we got free agency right after that, and then the NFL Draft, it's still sad to not have football. So with that, wanted to jump on quick, just talk about Rick Spielman as well as the Super Bowl. I appreciate everybody listening. If you haven't liked, subscribe, review, all that stuff, this podcast, that would be amazing. So please help me out. And other than that, I'll talk to you sometime next week, recapping the Super Bowl and talking a little bit more about what we got coming up for the rest of the offseason. See y'all later.